Deck as always, hears it coming, backs away. Feels it coming, whatever it is.
Such a challenging line, though, to take, right?
Exactly.
You know, looking down into Mexi, there's the heads just popping up, coming out of nowhere. Quite often will, unless you do have that really crisp aim that Simple does possess, but obviously they will fall back. So still just chilling inside mid. They've got a little bit of control established. They've managed to at least send Simple back towards jungle side, but he will relax for the time being. Whether or not G2 even choose to go towards A, we'll find out shortly. But they are sending some utility up in towards Dig anyway.
3 players here, though, for Na'Vi, ready for this push. And, of course, it's Simple playing close to this one. G2 still haven't decided where they're going. They've thrown a bunch of util, but it's a fake. And Simple's going to be the first one able to spot this. Going to be the first one able to spot this. Still haven't committed to B. They will now start moving over there, but there's still a smoke up in bottom banana. Boomich is here alone, though, so they haven't actually caught out this fake just yet. And there we go, more util over to A. So G2 putting everything into telling Na'Vi this is going to be an A hit. And Boomich has spotted it. He's going to have to run now. He'll get the flash out to try and delay. 20 seconds left. He only needs 1 or 2 kills to end this round.
Yeah, Boomich has done really, really well here to buy himself some time. Obviously spotting out all the members at bottom of Banana.
Great
Boomich
flash.
opening up, finding Hunter. You're exactly right, Tim. A perfect flash. Jack's at least able to trade.
No.
Now the time. Do they have it? Look where Simple is. Look where Simple is. He narrowly misses the no-scope. Actually, the second as well, and that will be the round. Flipping on its head completely. Nexa, Jax showing up when required. And that will just be immediately electronic, sent home packing. Doesn't want to be a part of that in any way, shape, or form. And G2, they find their way back on the board. They will get 5 here. And then as we move on into the final round of the half, look at the money, Tim. On the side of Na'Vi, it's pretty rubbish.
It's not looking good. You can see, though, just how much effort it takes to get Na'Vi to stay on one bomb site and not rotate someone over. They threw 2 full sets of utility at A there before they went B. And they were both staggered. So they threw the first one, and then that's when Na'Vi's thinking, oh, yep, it's a B hit. They're faking. They throw another set. And then run into B with, 22 seconds left when they started up Banana there? It was very, very late, and Boomich, unfortunately, not quite able to do enough to delay that one. If he could have bought himself even 3 more seconds, that might have been enough, but the rest of Na'Vi threw everything at that, just trying to stop that bomb plant, I guess. Simple, that's not a play you can ever endorse, but it's Simple, you know. There's an alternate universe that works perfectly, and he landed every no-scope, so it's worth it to try these things. That would have really been one that puts G2 in a bit of a bind, both financially and mentally. Speaking of mentally, Perfecto's got some jewelies. 3 rifles, 2 pistols, 3 pistols technically, if we're going to be pedantic about it. And G2 have got themselves a full buy, including finally that AWP on Kenny S on the T side.
Wonder if this will be where Perfecto pulls out something ridiculous, maybe picking up 3 to hit 20. He is 17 and 7 right now. And there will be some apps control starting to be established shortly. Flashing their way in now. Hunter and Amanek are there. Perfecto holding that very aggressive line. And it's funny, thinking back to that little position there where Simple did try to jump up to get that no-scope. It is such a simple thing, and like a lot of the time, he does end up hitting it. Would have been nice to occur, but I think it was that slight miss that is really what gave G2 the opportunity to potentially get their way back into this map, because, you know, still is a CT-sided map by far. G2 with 5, it's not the best sort of position, but at least it's much more of a respectable half.
And G2 is starting to play mind games with Na'Vi now, purely by showing them absolutely nothing. Simple's already gone for the rotate, even though there's now a bunch of smokes being thrown at A. They're actually just going to boost him up. They might send Boomich over to A in his place, but no, they're committed to 3 on this B bomb site. Once again, the smoke's being thrown from T-spawn into B. G2 doing much better now with the tactics, selling the fakes on both sides of the map, using their util. And now they're working their way up Arch. No one from Na'Vi can know about this. They can be aware of it, of course. Perfecto with the flash, but the time indeed is very, very low. 10 seconds to play.
Electronic needs to open up. The time is now, but unfortunately he can't quite get it done. And with only a second remaining, the bomb will be planted. And now it's a 3v5 situation. Of course, it is the last round of the half. They will need to go for this here. Kenny S finally with the AWP in hand. Should be able to find the shot here. He will, but Flamey, quick trade up. Dig now underneath the porches. They do start to move around. Simple, not too far away. Flashbang off the end of the apartments. Will blind up Flamey, sending him back for a little while longer. The AWP still in hand. Flamey able to find the shot on the next, but now he has to find 3 more. And in the end, he actually does manage to find Hunter there, but that is G2 securing a 6.5. Very well done, 9-6.
Indeed it is. So a bit of redemption fee. We'll have to see if they can continue it in the next half right after this.
Wish we could learn how to love our mistakes. Straight from the jump and now wait for an answer. Wish we could smile when shit's rough nowadays. Change our reactions. Feelings don't die around this neighborhood. We used to sell a double pills, young and misunderstood. Tell me what is changing from your point of view. A smaller circle, but the range is for some deja vu. I recognize my future, and there is nothing with you. Unless you turn your boat around, success might come recruit you. But unless you analyze in depth that we're steps away from death, 1,000 possibilities, act on it, Johnny Depp. For real, cause we're lonesome childs, trying to know what far that brought us down to you. I don't wanna be stuck in countless doubts. I just wanna smile and run away from you. I swear to God, man, I just wanna be a model for my brothers. Hey, I just gotta work until I'm on the covers. Hey, I just gotta work until my songs are covered. Hey, I just wanna make it proud to be my mother. Wish we could learn how to love our mistakes. Straight from the jump and now wait for an answer. Wish we could smile when shit's rough nowadays. Change our reactions. You just gotta love yourself. 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 Hope you learned your lesson, girl. I cannot teach anymore. Hope you show some faith in me, and not like anyone. Cause I am over being sober with myself when I'm with you. I am over being something.
Time now for half number 2 in map number 2. It's Inferno between G2 and Na'Vi, and G2 showing us some signs of life here, Conky. They bring it back to a 9-6 after things were looking pretty dire early on. They managed to recover just a little bit. And from a series that was looking almost over a couple rounds into that map, it was 8-3, same as Train at one point. They are back in control now. Only 3 rounds to split. That's a pistol round. It's enough to bring them back. So we'll see now, moving into the second half, of G2 have enough to bring it back. I'm sure they will be hoping they do. I'm hoping they do. I'd like a map 3. What do you reckon? They got it?
Yeah, look, I think they do. You know, the way that G2 were able to bring that back on the T side, rather, they were super fluid, I suppose, with their aggression, especially towards the end. You know, they were able to isolate the picks and really start to overwhelm Na'Vi. You know, Na'Vi had a fair few very, very clean retakes. There's the king himself, Simple on the cam. Look at this man. But yeah, no, very well done in the end to recover well from G2. Now they move on to the favored CT side. We'll get a cheeky little nade down, but it's actually Amanek to find the opener here. Electronic taken rather low, and immediately there's already carnage coming out as mid control has been established, and there is a bomb dropped. Amanek will
at
find it, but
those
it's all on
GG bet
Nexa.
odds, by the way.
Oh my.
8.5 to 1.05. GG bet certainly seems to think that Na'Vi have got this one. It's all Nexa, though. 1 versus 3 on the CT side. He's on the A bomb site, and that's the tricky part in a situation like this. You got to gamble. You just got to guess. Now he is going to go over to that B bomb site, but he's going to be far, far too late. Na'Vi cutting no corners. They know it's a 3v1, but they're still throwing all their util. They're clearing everything, and only when it's safe will they plant. Next up for his part, spots the smoke. He knows it's here, but there's a lot of work yet to do.
Does have the smoke, does have the flash, but unfortunately no kit in hand. I didn't see where that one got dropped over to. It probably did get taken in and amongst the carnage inside mid. Of course, it is a common strategy to try and take that early mid control, but in the end, it didn't quite pay off for G2. Amanek was able to find a couple of cool kills, but now it's all on an Nexa inside this 1v3, and right now it looks like he may very well just look to sort of challenge, see if he can keep any of these members actually back on the site. He will. Electronic crossing out now, doesn't do the damage. It's actually Electronic to find it. 3 kills for Flamey, 2 for Electronic, and a very well, nicely founded round there from Na'Vi, 10-6, as they open up the T side with gusto.
So flashback to about a minute and a half ago when I said that's just a pistol round separating them. That, of course, was depending on G2 winning it, and despite the early frags, immediately Na'Vi pull it back, spin it around. Nice shooting from Flamey.
My word.
Goodness me. That was incredibly nice indeed. And for G2, it's the Deagles. They've got 3 HE grenades. They can try and do some damage with them. Down to 2 now. They've just thrown 1. They can waste some time with these smokes, but they're facing down a full buy. Certainly not going to be an easy one for them to hold on to here, but got a chance.
What do they do here? Early nade already to damage down. Simple looks like he's happy to just sit with the Deagle for the time being. So G2, they've invested just enough where they won't be able to buy fully into the next, but you know, maybe giving themselves some comfort early. The 5 Deagles can quite often get the job done. We've seen that in this series already. Actually saw it a couple of times, but there you go. Simple. Doesn't need a rifle in any way, shape, or form, apparently.
Why did he even carry one just
Kenny
wants to use a
S?
Deagle?
Yeah,
I know
exactly.
he doesn't have her on right now, but there's so many times where he's got an AWP or something, he's just like, yep, Deagle.
Deagle's fine. It works.
Certainly is. Looks like we are going to be heading in towards the A bomb site here for Na'Vi. Nexa in the corner. They're ready for it. They're holding it. Boomich is watching. Electronic will surely check it. There it is.
Good
There
clear.
was a chance for the shot, but unfortunately Nexa with the fraction too slow. Incredibly hard to hit those. Jax goes for 1. Not going to get anything out of it, though. And in the 3 versus 5, Na'Vi flooding onto this A bomb site. He'll manage the 1, but no more than that. That should be Jackson Hunter just playing their lines here. If they can hit a headshot and steal a rifle, then all good, but it's not looking ideal for them. 2 versus 4 as Na'Vi head towards 11.
Maybe Jax will be able to find something cheeky here, but it will be a challenge regardless. Simple waiting just inside the cubby. But a minute 5. Oh, hang on. Never mind. That's actually the bomb is counting down. Yeah, look at it.
A little bit weird, but it's fine.
Simple's found one as well in the process. 2 for him. Happy on this Deagle. And now Hunter just waiting to see if anyone will pass on by as the bombs does start to tick away. Almost done. And it looks like that will be a 11th round found for Na'Vi. Hunter good for 1, not quite the second. Boomich to do the damage. And in the end, that's almost actually what takes him down. But very well done there by Na'Vi, solidifying themselves, sitting at 11. And they are only now 5 away from not only winning out the map, but also the match to sit themselves happily at the top of the group and obviously sending off G2 in style.
Yeah, G2 not really showing us too much, unfortunately. And I don't think that's even really so much them to blame. It's been a really good night for Na'Vi. Been playing very well indeed, and they've got multiple players who've been popping off. Of course, Simple. We always talk about Simple, but Boomich was a dominant force on Train. Perfecto had an incredibly nice first half on this map. Flamey's pistol round, we saw it. Electronic, of course, always consistent. I know I just named every player on Na'Vi, but it kind of do be like that sometimes, you know? Just the pistols here on G2, and I'm not feeling too good about it. But of course, as I say that, Hunter finds the 1. Jax, though, overrun. And it will be the rotate back onto the A-bomb side for the CTs with 1 player on T side still making some noise at B.
Kenny S seeing what he can find. Boomich. Do you think he actually did spot him in the end? Yes, he did. So bomb will be planted over towards that A side as they can now sit and just sort of relax for a little while. Looks like they might try to do some additional damage, already looking to clear a little bit further, but Simple, in an awkward situation, he does still have the Deagle in hand, and he still somehow manages to find these additional kills. Electronic for one more onto Amanek. And now it's all on a Hunter here in a 1v3, but he might just try to hightail it out of there, head back towards the B site, and maybe just try and live on. He doesn't have any Kevlar, not really anything to save a whole lot. But running actually over towards the bomb. He's obviously not going to find anything, and he actually might have put himself in a bit of a predicament. But Boomich will find him. 2 kills found in the round. 12 now secured for Na'Vi. And G2 really struggling to sort of amp up the pressure. They will be able to get the AWP into the hands of Kenny, yes. But maybe a little bit too late. There is still time, though. I'm not going to count G2 out of this just yet.
Yeah, no, I'm also not going to count him out. I think it depends on how they establish this AWP. So we'll have to keep an eye on Kenny and where he goes. Looks like he's going to be going over towards that A site. Either go for a pick in mid, or he could even go for a very aggressive AWP pick into apps. It's one of those things that's risky, but if you can hit it, it's worth it because the other team's never going to see it coming, and it looks like that is, in fact, what he's doing. Aggression into Banana from that CT side, and I completely lied to you. Kenny's playing top mid. Simple's found his first. Gets traded by Amanek, but again, dictating the pressure early on. That was a pick towards Banana, and the T's are still putting some pressure on this. Amanek going to boost up his teammate before getting a smoke down to reinforce it, and more utility going out onto A, I believe. As trades go back and forth, 3-3 in terms of players, a minute 20 on the clock.
It's only going to be Hunter as well, trying to defend this A bomb site, moving up now quickly. Amanek will join, now about to move into Arch. Perfecto still holding that line. It's going to be a interesting re-aggression from Amanek. Perfecto able to find that. Least next are good for the trade, but now they try and move on to the side. Hunter has a big task ahead here, finds one. Boomich with the trade. It's all onto a one-on-one now. Next up, will he find the right timing? Boomich going for the line and not quite going to be able to find it. G2 put themselves back on the map. 7 rounds here and a big sip of fresh air into the lungs as they can slowly start to feel the pressure subside. But they've still got plenty of rounds they need to find. 5 is the difference, whereas Na'Vi are only 4 away from success in the entirety of this series.
Indeed they are, and a near thing for both teams there. That one could have easily gone either way, but it's Nexa in the end who will close it in the 1v1 with Boomich. Both players caught a little bit out in the open, but manages to find the shot first, and that is what matters. The AWP lost from Kenny. Unfortunately, hasn't had really too much impact with it this game, or this map, I should say. So the rifle's not the worst downgrade in the world for him. Perfecto checking out Banana. The utility usage going to keep him out. This nade could do some good damage, but Boomich is, never mind. I was going to say he's in front of it. It bounces really harshly off the wall. And we'll tag him for half his health. But Na'Vi, they still want to go over towards this B bomb site. 4 players in Banana. Flamey coming over to join them as well. Bomb present. And G2 do have a bunch of utility, but it's going to depend on how quick they are to get it out. There's the smoke.
Nexa and Amanek, are they going to be able to defend this one? Because it looks like Na'Vi, they'll be leaping and bounding through these smokes here. Amanek will be forced out of the site there. Perfecto, in the end, does manage to find one. Flamey good for another. But despite the vision denied, Amanek will find an additional frag. Now Jax and Hunter have to start to slowly make their way up Nana. The bomb will be planted here. Usual spot, just on the other side of the coffins. Na'Vi start to tick the timer. They will actually boost Simple on the top of this box here. You love to see it. Electronic's going to be the person to find it. Now jumping up to the site. It's just going to be Jax inside this 1v3, and it looks like Na'Vi should be able to solidify it. But Jax might have something to say about it. Drops Electronic, but now there is the immediate exit. He's got no kit in hand, no real time to work with, and he will give up a 13th round for Na'Vi, and the money on the G2 situation isn't looking the most crash hot either. Likely going to meet the fate of an eco here. But as the rounds start to stack up from Na'Vi, the pressure just continues to build on G2. Na'Vi now only 3 away from victory.
And on their side, the money is looking very solid. So we got a good bit of fringe cam there. Na'Vi have looked pretty calm this whole series, really, from everything we've seen on their player cams, and they have reason to be. They've been in control of this series pretty much the entire time. Let's have a look what the buy is going to be here. Flamey goes on to that Mac 10 just to bully the players who will be on pistols. Jax has got that saved M4, and here comes another attack timeout from G2. They used 2 on train. They're currently on their 3rd of this map, still with rounds to play, and they've got to figure out something here. Na'Vi are perfectly happy to play this slow pick style, and G2 haven't really had too much of an answer there. Even that round, they had their last 2 players down mid and flanking once the bomb was planted, and that flank got there pretty quickly, but it still wasn't quick enough. Na'Vi were ready for it.
Absolutely.
And having a look at the frag counts, look how even Na'Vi are.
Wow.
15 to 19, the distribution. Everyone within that range. Although worth noting on G2, Nexa right up there with them. 97 ADR, tied with Boomich and Electronic for the top ADR in the server.
I love how Aminek's not too far behind. You know, has 8 kills, but still only sits just below the top fragger on the side of G2. Impact player, we'll call it that. But they need to find some impact back as Na'Vi super close to closing out this series in its entirety, but I've got faith. I know the G2 have the capacity to do this. They just need to put the pieces of the puzzle together, as they are struggling a little bit right now. Jack's the only person with the rifle. Of course, they have gone for the eco around it. No Kevlar at all in the server.
Look at the change up from
Jax for
Na'Vi.
G2. Yeah.
They've thrown the util into B to fake that out, try and keep a player here, and they're taking contact control of lower bracket. This is the first bit of util they've thrown, and it's a smoke to library where one player has been spotted. Nexa has to go back and play the wrap. Hunter, this close range inside of apartments could work for him, has a teammate with him as well, but Na'Vi are all over this. Surely they won't let these CTs run away, and Flamey's going to crouch it. Perfect crouch to get under the headshot. That's 2 players removed already, and the rest of G2 to retake.
Crouching Tiger hitting Flamey here, as he will find it with the Mac 10. Electronic to open up with 2. And now it's all on a Kenny S inside the site. Is he going to be able to find anything here? He is on the opposing side of the smoke. Flamey has spotted him out. Kenny will be able to pick up one here, but with no Kevlar, unfortunately, Boomich will be able to take him down with the Glock. The site is found. They don't even need to get the bomb plant down, because Na'Vi, they will find 14 here. And now G2 with what could possibly be their final chance to really go in deep with that buy. Obviously, we haven't really seen Kenny on the AWP a whole lot. I mean, look, he's just not really been the player that we expected, you know? He's had fantastic rounds on train that I can remember, of course, but still certainly not feeling himself, I guess you could say.
Yeah, not really having the impact that we're looking for here. He's going to get it out again and look for a pick towards Banana, and that's where I think Kenny really shines. Given a nice long angle and the ability to lock it down solo, that's where we've seen all of his best moments over his entire career. He just needs to be able to have a bit of an impact and direct the flow of the game into his favor early on, and he's not found anything here really. Na'Vi off that last round are going to do pretty much the exact same thing, contacting up into the lower bracket, and Electronic destroys Nexa. Does catch a dink for his troubles, but look at this. A minute 20, already Na'Vi are all around this A bomb site. 2 players here, both isolated over near the pit. Hunter, though, is going to manage 1, and that could be the start for G2.
Well, this is where the pressure does start to amount, right? You've seen them. Hunter had to push inside the apartments knowing that there was going to be a potential wrap coming around.